Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood updates here, so remember to subscribe for the latest videos. There are moments in Hollywood when the boundaries between elegance and daring blur so perfectly that the result is nothing short of breathtaking, and Elisabeth Shue's recent vacation outing was one of those rare instances that set social media ablaze, sent paparazzi into a frenzy, and left fans stunned across the globe. At 61, Elisabeth Shue remains the very picture of timeless beauty, exuding the kind of confidence and grace that most stars spend a lifetime trying to perfect. This is not just the Elisabeth Shue we remember from The Karate Kid, Adventures in Babysitting, or Leaving Las Vegas. This is a woman who has evolved into a glamorous icon, unafraid to embrace her natural allure and prove that age is nothing but a number when it comes to style, confidence, and owning the moment. On a sun-drenched afternoon at an exclusive tropical destination, Elisabeth stepped out in a bikini that has since become the subject of countless online debates, magazine covers, and fan discussions, a sheer, transparent piece that both celebrated her stunning figure and challenged the quiet, outdated whispers about how women in their 60s should dress their age. The photos captured her strolling along the shoreline with an easy, radiant smile, the kind of effortless joy that comes when someone is entirely at peace with themselves. The ocean breeze played with her sun-kissed hair while the sheer fabric of her swimwear caught the light in a way that was almost cinematic, the kind of image you'd expect to see immortalized in a glossy coffee table book about Hollywood legends. Fans who grew up admiring her acting were now seeing a different side of Elisabeth, not just as the talented actress they remembered, but as a living testament to the power of self-confidence and self-expression. The online reaction was swift and overwhelming. Twitter threads turned into passionate discussions about beauty standards, Instagram flooded with hashtags like #ElisabethShueGoals, and celebrity stylists weighed in, praising her bold fashion choice as a statement of liberation, rather than mere shock value. But the story isn't just about a transparent bikini. It's about the conversation Elisabeth unknowingly sparked. In an industry often criticized for celebrating youth while pushing mature actresses into the shadows, here was a veteran star walking proudly in the sunlight, refusing to hide or conform to expectations. For many women, it was a breath of fresh air, an empowering reminder that sensuality doesn't expire at a certain age. For others, it was simply another reason to adore Elisabeth. What makes her appearance even more captivating is how she carried herself. There was no trace of discomfort, no apologetic glances, only a calm, radiant confidence that turned what could have been just another celebrity beach photo set into a moment of cultural significance. Paparazzi shots showed her laughing with friends, taking dips in the ocean, and sipping on a tropical drink while the golden hour light wrapped her in a halo glow. Every frame looked like it belonged in a high-end fashion spread. It wasn't just Elisabeth's bikini that was transparent. It was her entire demeanor, open, unapologetic, and refreshingly real. And in a world of carefully curated celebrity images, that authenticity might be the most beautiful thing of all. But while the surface of the story sparkled with sunlit glamour and beachside beauty, the deeper ripples of Elisabeth Shue's public moment reached far beyond the sands of her tropical retreat. Almost immediately after the images began circulating online, entertainment talk shows dedicated entire segments to discussing her choice of attire, dissecting every detail from the cut of the bikini to the shade of her manicure. Morning anchors on network television found themselves in spirited debates about whether Elisabeth's boldness was a refreshing challenge to Hollywood's rigid beauty standards or simply another example of celebrity culture's obsession with shock value. Yet, what stood out most was how overwhelmingly positive the response was, a rarity in an age when the internet can be ruthless. Admirers flooded her social media with messages of admiration, with many sharing personal stories of how Elisabeth's confidence had inspired them to feel more comfortable in their own skin. Fashion editors from major publications called it a watershed moment for mature celebrity style, and some even compared it to the way icons like Helen Mirren, Jane Fonda, and Sharon Stone have redefined glamour in later years. Elisabeth, ever graceful, remained largely silent on the matter, letting the photographs speak for themselves. Friends close to the actress told magazines that she was simply enjoying a much-needed getaway and hadn't intended to spark a cultural conversation, but perhaps that was exactly why the moment resonated so deeply. It was authenticity, not calculated publicity, that made these images iconic. Behind the scenes, industry insiders whispered about how Elisabeth's effortless resurgence in the public eye could open new doors for her in Hollywood. Producers saw a renewed public fascination, fashion brands saw a muse who could speak to elegance across generations, and even streaming platforms were reportedly interested in collaborating with her on lifestyle or travel series. Meanwhile, fans continued to share and rehair the vacation snapshots, adding their own captions of empowerment, humor, and heartfelt admiration. The images became something larger than the bikini itself. They became a symbol of unfiltered joy, of a woman owning her presence without fear or apology. Some called it Elisabeth's Renaissance, a moment that wasn't about reclaiming the spotlight, but rather about showing the world that she had never truly left it. In the weeks following, paparazzi kept a keen eye on her whereabouts, hoping to capture another candid moment that might ignite just as much conversation. Yet, true to her nature, Elisabeth managed to balance her newfound viral status with a sense of privacy and dignity that many celebrities struggle to maintain. And perhaps that is her greatest allure, the ability to give just enough of herself to the public to remind them why they fell in love with her in the first place, without surrendering the sacred parts of her life to the relentless cycle of gossip. As the waves of commentary slowly began to settle, the images remained, frozen in time, yet timeless in their impact. Elisabeth Shue had, knowingly or not, reminded the world that beauty is not bound by age, that style can be both daring and dignified, and that sometimes the most powerful statements are made without a single word spoken. And as daily gossip wraps up this extraordinary story, one thing is certain. The next time Elisabeth Shue steps out into the sun, the world will be watching, not just to see what she's wearing, but to witness the unapologetic grace with which she continues to live her life. So if you want to keep following every unforgettable Hollywood moment just like this, make sure to subscribe now for more celebrity stories, dazzling updates, and the kind of inspiring journeys that keep the magic of stardom alive every single day.